Welcome to the show called Famous Touch. I'm your host, DJ Mr. Famous. I got an exciting show today. I got Mr. George Swope. I think that's what it is, right?
That's right. That's right.
George Swope, filmmaker, film writer, and also book writer. Book actually first, but now we got a script right there, buddy. That's gonna be turned into a movie. Man, what's going on, buddy?
Oh man.
First of all, give you a handshake, man.
Oh yeah, bro.
Welcome to the show, man.
Yeah. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here.
You know, this actually relationship we got was off of Facebook. I believe one day you said you wanted to do something with your book or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think I chimed in, or somebody recommended my name, and we established some kind of conversation. And before you know, we established a relationship. And went from talking about the book to him actually getting it turned into a script.
Oh yeah.
Which is a movie now. And man, first of all, you know, I'm excited to see this.
Oh yeah.
You got a book, and the book actually is called
Reverend Pimp.
So that's actually the book. And I'll ask you a question. First of all, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, it was a lot of talk going around how pastors would get rich off people's money and stuff like that. So, I was thinking, I said, well, let me write this and maybe it help somebody not to do that kind of thing, or help them to recognize what they're doing is wrong.
Right.
So, but I want to bring it in a positive way instead of a negative way, so people would understand what's going on and what's not happening, and what's really happening, and what was happening. So it's a story about a lot of things that's what's going on today. But it's going to be a little realization. I want to bring it to life, the realization, so people can have an outlook on what's really happening.
And that's awesome, man, because actually I've read the script. I've read all the way through it, and I'll be honest with you, y'all, the story is amazing about this guy named Reverend Pimp. You got to read the book. You got to read the book, and some of you are gonna be waiting for the movie to come out, and I'll be part of that filmmaking process. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for the opportunity. And so, when I think about the movie as I watched it and read it, and also now knowing that you have put the book first together. You're not from Houston, right?
No, I'm from Benton Harbor, Michigan.
So pretty much you have seen the lifestyle of a pimp before.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Between Detroit, Benton Harbor, Kalamazoo, Michigan, I didn't seen it all, and I actually, was involved with something in a little bit. I say a little bit myself.
I'll be honest with you, man. Me myself personally, I have been involved with pimping. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have done my thing. And I shut it down quickly. It wasn't something that God had in store for me, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't like babysitting nobody, being honest with you, me. And me got babysitting a lot of girls, I don't got time for all that. So even though they got money involved, I didn't want it anyway, you know what I'm saying? But apparently you how to say this? You took a collectiveness of the people you knew, pimp-wise.
Yeah.
I guess, and drew from the imagination.
What I did, I took the pimp style and put the church style with it, because that's what people were talking about today, how people are pimping God. So I took it all together, but I made a positive end, just letting people know, hey, anybody can change.
Gotcha.
Anybody can change. And I give God all the glory on this movie and the success of this movie. I give God the glory.
Gotcha. So when you was writing this, right? What was your intent? Like, what did you want to get out of this whole book process, and of course now the film? Like, is this something you just want people to know about? Like, what was your aim or purpose of putting this kind of work together?
Sending a message. It was all about sending a message, a positive message, to let people know what's going on in our society and what can change in our society.
Gotcha. Well, and me personally, I know a lot of you all probably know my background already. Drug dealer, robber, everything you can think about. You know what I'm saying? Went to prison for a whole murder charge. God was good in my life. I came home in 21 months after getting an 8-year sentence from all the stuff I was on. So I do know the power of change. I do know the power of an awakening, or a spiritual awakening, rather say, for God to like open a person's mind. And I'm grateful because, man, I was wild. And apparently this is what this guy T Pimp was. He's wild in the movie, in the script, and I'm sure he's wild in the book. You know, and as I've looked at his lifestyle, I can see that a lot of people have actually lived this kind of life. You know, and to see also the things he did, which was crazy. That's why you got to read this book. Matter of fact, just we're gonna talk about that for a minute. Yeah. Because as I reading, T Pimp tried to go and take over the church.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He tried to take over. You know, he tried to make as much money as he could because he saw a person getting rich and he wanted to get rich too. You know,
took the pimping skills to the church. Y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You got to get this book. Oh yeah. You got to get this book, and we're gonna give you information on how you can purchase this book in a little bit. But going back to the story itself, you know, when I'm watching up in there about him and what he's doing with the church and things like that, I'm seeing somebody though pretty much is looking for something. You know, him and the girls, they actually looking for something, and I believe they found it, but they found it on default.
Yeah, they found it on default.
He found it on default.
They were looking for the riches, but in the end, the riches of God caught them. Yeah. So, you know, they got caught in the trap. All as just a setup.
Yeah. And that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, it was a setup.
It sounded like. You know, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back after this. Messages. Peace.
Just enough to make it real for me. Whatever that fucking means.
Welcome back to the show. You know, people say, man, you know, how can you talk about God and you got, you know, cussing in your songs and all that? Well, first of all, you need to stop judging me. And those who judge me, let me judge you. Are you perfect? No. And God ain't judging me for that. If anything, we need to be real out here, because with this movie, you're going to see the realness of a pimp lifestyle, who some of you don't not know anything about. And I was telling Brother George, I said, you know, people today, they want to know the real. They want to really know what happened to a person. They want to know, you know, what the real thing happened to them. Like me, for instance, you know, a lot of times when we are Christians, and I'm going to say this, we try to sugarcoat everything. We try to cover over the things that we would want to say or want to do. And ain't nothing wrong with making that happen, you know what I'm saying, covering up stuff. But sometimes we got to tell the story how it really happened. Mm-hmm. How it really happened. Because if we don't, sometimes people don't get the message.
I agree, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And so, brother, I know this book is a pretty clean book. And from our scriptures, it's pretty clean itself. I'm going to ask you a question, though. Do you plan on having any type of raunchiness in it?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to mix it up. It's going to mix it up. You know, I want people to understand, you know, hey, there's a style a way other people live, and there's a style a way some people live.
Right, I got you.
So I want to put it all together and make everybody understand that you can't judge a book by its cover.
No, you can't.
Because you never know how God can turn things around.
Oh, man. Look, I was at church the other day, and I was filming, and one of the pastors came over there and told me he smelled a little weed on me. Now, somebody else walked in there, you know, and had some weed on them, and I don't know if he mistaken me, and maybe I had some weed smelling, I don't know. But for the most part, I felt like pastor could have been in a judgmental mode. He had just finished preaching about how Christ died for all our sins, and how Satan, who is the accuser, always bringing up our accusation before God. And I sat there and thought about that. I say, well, if that's what you believe and that's what you finished preaching, why are you coming to me and accuse me? You just doing the work of the enemy. See, that's the thing I don't like about how we think that sometimes people got to stop doing a certain thing before they come to God. Let me just say this for a moment. When I came to God, I was high on heroin, cocaine, weed, and was running from a murder that had just been committed. And I came to him just like that. I didn't have to get it right before I came to him. He got a hold of me still in that same mindset. So a lot of times we got to be careful that when people come to a church somewhere, don't worry about what they got on. Don't worry about how they smell. Don't worry about how they look. That is not your problem. If you're going to bring somebody to God or point somebody to God, just do that job. Let God do the rest of that work.
I agree, brother.
See what I'm saying?
Amen.
Because that ain't love. Love is when you love me the way I am. And don't get me wrong, I have been faulty at times myself who can love a person based on because I like them, or because I like what they doing, or because they are lovable. But what happens when they are not lovable, my brother? And you being a man of God, actually a pastor, you know that people's soul is more
it's more important than their outer appearance.
There you go.
Like the Bible says, you have to clean the cup from the inside first before you clean the outside.
There you go, brother. There you go. And so that's why this story is so good to me, because as you see a man who goes from pimping girls, having them sell their bodies, to now going into the church, and I don't want to tell too much of it, and doing all kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But as you're going to see in the end of the story, what happens. And I'm going to leave that to you to see it and watch it and read about it. But just knowing that when I looked at it, it just shows me that God is able to change anybody's life, brother.
That's
Talk
right.
to me about
That's
that.
right. Anybody. You know, when I wrote the story, I was in pain. I had what you call H. pylori or E. coli. My stomach was burning up on fire. But I was studied typing. I was studied typing. I was holding my stomach and typing. I started typing. I wouldn't let go. I wanted to quit 1,000 times, but I wouldn't let go. God said, keep on going, keep on going. They need to get this message. And, you know, I had trouble, you know, with the book when it first was coming out. You know, a lot of people look at the title, Reverend Pimp. Well, how can you judge somebody about a pastor that's pimping God? But they looked at the title, but they hadn't read the book.
And that's all.
So it was it was a little controversy in it. You know, if the truth fits, wear it.
Right.
You know, I have no problem with that. But, you know, I'm trying to bring out a message. So if the message didn't go for my book, people wouldn't get my book. I'd bring it to life. Right. So they can really understand and see what what God's intent was for me to write the book.
Right. I got you. Well, brother, you know, I'll be honest with you. You know, we running on time here today, and I'll be honest with you, I am so happy to have you on the show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also happy to have a relationship with you now where we can actually work together and put this movie together. The Reverend Pimp, y'all be on the lookout for it. It is going to be out. I'm telling you, we're going to do some work on it and get it going. And I'm grateful for my brother being on the show today. Brother, if you don't mind telling them, how can they find your book right now?
Right now it's on Amazon.com. You go to Amazon.com. You can type in George Swope or Reverend T. Pimp, or you can Google up Reverend T. Pimp on Google, and the book will show up. It's on Amazon. It's in Barnes and Noble. It's there for you to get.
Wow.
God bless you all, and thank you.
So, a question also: how can they find you?
They can find me. They can find me on Facebook, George Swope. You can find me on Instagram, George Swope. You can find me anywhere. Just go online or social media, you'll find me.
Oh, man. Once again, George Swope, book writer, film writer. I'm your host, DJ Mr. Famous. And we've already went the other route with the rap. Now we're going to end it like God will always end it. And that's on the good one. Until we see you next time, sayonara, arrivederci. Adios, amigos. You've been watching Famous Touch. With one touch of fame, everyone will